stars as the Patriots gut out a moral victory in Foxborough. And finally, Patrick Peterson and Nick Wright both talk trash, both take L's. Has Brock Purdy silenced all of his doubters? Welcome to the show, alongside fellow Iowa
You killed me in
And you gotta
fantasy.
say it with your chest.
Well,
Iowa Mafia.
I'm not a member. I'm just an observer. I'm Kevin Wiles.
How
It's
it
Chris
goes.
Broussard. Nick, do you want to apologize to Brock Purdy?
No. Apologize? I'll apologize to America for giving them Steelers plus 2.5.
Yeah, it was a horrible pick,
so
wasn't
good.
it?
To Brock Purdy, though, not so much. We'll
Neither was your
discuss.
Patriots
What's he got
-4.
to
We
say?
just
My God.
I don't know what his third pick was.
we
but
start with the Cowboys' demolition of the Giants.
I'm sure they
40
will over it at some point,
to
so
nothing.
he was probably wrong.
Cowboys defense/special teams had 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, 2 touchdowns, and 7 sacks. Here's Micah Parsons.
I think it just all started with the offseason and camp. Everyone came in with a preparation, a mindset that we was going to dominate. We know that these games depend on us, and I think we really keyed in, honed in this week.
They played
and we
unbelievably
prepared to
yesterday.
the max, and we was ready for our opponent. We just got to keep that going.
That defense
I think
absolutely
we're
whooped them.
making a statement, which I've been trying to make. We're the best defense in the National Football League.
Okay. So are the Cowboys
There's definitely a
that
good start
good,
to that.
or were the Giants that bad?
Well, Wilds, I'm going to give your favorite answer.
Don't
of
say
mine.
it. No,
the answer
Don't
is
say it.
both. The Cowboys are that good, and the Giants very well may be that bad. Let me start on the Cowboys, the team that I picked to go
Thank
to
God
the
they
Super
paid
Bowl
Daniel Jones
for
all
the
that money.
reason of they're going to have the best defense in football. They can just send wave after wave of guys at you. And if you single block Micah Parsons, you're cooked.
Yep.
And if you double team him, as the Giants found out last night, you might also be cooked. They double teamed Micah Parsons
'Cause they have
14 times
too many
last
other
night.
guys.
The Cowboys generated 10 pressures and 5 sacks when he was double teamed. And so it's like, okay, I guess we have to single team him, but then
5
you have
sacks
the
while
best
he's
defensive player
double-teamed.
in the sport going after you. And they have Trayvon Diggs in the secondary. And they
You hear
have
that
Stephon
audio about
Gilmore,
Geno
whose
Smith
demise was greatly
and Aaron
overstated
Donald?
by many. And so they have all of that going for
like,
them
"Oh my
on
God."
defense.
As
On
Aaron Donald was
offense, they didn't
chasing him.
even have to do anything last night, but we know they have a quarterback who has been the quarterback of the #1 offense in football at different points of his career. A quarterback who had a brilliant playoff game a few months ago in the calendar year 2023. That's why the Cowboys are the best team in the NFC. That's why I picked them to win the NFC. Now to the Giants side of the coin. This is a franchise that, in short order, will be in somewhat of disarray because they made a critical error this offseason. They could have franchise tagged Daniel Jones and gave him a 1-year
Daniel Jones'
play
fault.
adult football tryout.
I mean, they had 0 points.
Instead, they wanted to franchise tag Saquon, extend Daniel Jones. Now they're tied to a quarterback who
And the Cowboys
into
defense
their
had
season,
16
the
points by
broadcast
themselves.
is saying, well, they
Well,
know
14,
they have
I
to
guess,
get at
but-
least 70 yards rushing from Daniel Jones to have a chance. 1 minute
That's from
into
the
year,
offense
when
of the
things were
Ca-
going well.
the Giants.
When things were going well.
Is he a
They-
yes, he's like Lamar.
Before it all went to hell with the blocked field goal, Collinsworth and Tirico were all over themselves about how well Daniel Jones was playing. He had 0 yards passing.
Well-
That's their guy, which is why, and Brew, I hate to do this, but before even we hear from Chris Broussard or Kevin Wilds, let's hear from the person America really wants to hear from. Live via Skype in Minnesota, Greg Jennings,
Oh, no.
author of Daniel Jones is better than the Prince and Daniel Jones is better than Dak Prescott. One question for you, Greg Jennings. Who was the better quarterback last night?
Look, it's simple. I mean, Dak, if you want to say he was the better quarterback last night, he was the better quarterback. He
Thank you
wasn't
so
the
much,
best. I'm
Greg
not gonna-
Jennings. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you for taking the time from Minnesota. Greg, we
I mean,
were
Dak
so
had a
excited.
technically better
Absolutely,
game,
that's all I
but
needed to
Wow.
hear.
they were both
So
pretty bad.
go right ahead, Brew.
But Dak didn't
Well,
really
look,
have to do
Greg
anything.
Jennings, and I'm sure the
Like, they
reason
were
you
up
had
too
him
much
on was because
to begin with to
he is saying
even
Daniel
attempt
Jones
to
is a
pass the
top
ball
10
down the field
quarterback.
too
He's been
much.
saying that since last year. Now, what I saw last
Once you go up
night,
16-0, you're
Daniel
going to be ground
Jones
and
might
pound.
be a top 10 running back. All right? Like, he ran the ball well for the first 2 minutes of the game. But after, he is not a top 10 quarterback. And the only running he did last night was for his life.
Who do you want? So is he supposed to block Micah
legit just
Parsons-
kick
No, but I'm-
Five
Greg
minutes
Jennings
and
off.
Micah
So are
Parsons
you
unblocked.
saying
He
it's
came in
on
for
the
that one
board
bit.
that he's a top 10 quarterback?
It's on the board if he can get
On
someone to
the
protect.
board?
Who do you
What
want?
board?
Who would succeed behind that line last night? Name any
I
quarterback
don't
in the
have
history
it
of the
all
NFL.
At left tackle.
It's
Name
true. I think the
any
Cowboys are going to
quarterback
wreck some
I
havoc
get
this
that.
year.
of the NFL that would succeed
He
behind that
hasn't
line.
Specifically
done
their
a
defense.
thing to warrant being in anybody's top 10. That's all we're saying. I'm not saying I expected wonders last night. I'm just saying the dude is mediocre.
It's a divisional game,
He's a
and they were
mediocre
at
quarterback.
home, and they made the playoffs last year, and they got beaten away. No team has ever gotten beat on opening weekend. In every facet they got ruined. And Dable, you could see it midway through the first quarter. He was in and I think Dable's excellent, but he could see that the downpour was coming in a way. Your Patriots also down 16-0.
we're
They
locked
had a steady hand.
Dable does have things to answer for because his team wasn't prepared.
No.
I mean, initially, it was interesting because, again, the first few minutes with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley running the ball, they marched right down the field. And then it just went south like a play or two before the field goal attempt that was blocked. From there, it was all
It
downhill.
was a false start that got him
That
out of
was
the
it.
thing. It's 3rd and 2, so a false start, you can't run. So now you got to
And
pass
then
from
they
3rd and
fell
7. He
apart.
gets sacked, and
They
then the
fell
field goes
apart.
blocked, and it falls apart.
But to answer your question, Wilds,
How the
because at
turntables.
that point, Nick, I was getting
They definitely
when they
table
were
turned
marching,
last night.
I was getting my F game
Giants.
take ready.
Oh, you were?
I was like, this is the Cowboys. They're marching right up the field on you.
I
But
thought
then
this
they
game was gonna be a
righted
lot
the ship,
closer.
obviously, to say the least. Nick is right in that.
You're gonna be saying that a lot
It's
today.
kind of both in that the Cowboys, they're not that good. I mean, who is that good? It wouldn't even be a competition if they were that good, 40-0 over a team that made the playoffs last year. And the Giants aren't that bad where, I mean, they wouldn't win a game if they played like that all season.
Yeah, and then the Vikings
but
just
if
lost
I
to
have
the Bucs
pick one, I'm going to lean
Baker.
toward the Giants.
That makes it look like the Giants
Because obviously we
playoff
know the
victory
Cowboys
over
are
a
legit contenders, but
pretty
the
mediocre
Giants,
team at best.
after the 6-1 start, and I'm thinking when I look at the way it played out, okay, teams saw what they're doing, figured them out, because you know how they've played since the 6-1 start? 4-8-1. That's including last year's playoffs when they actually won a game.
Yeah.
All right. So 4-8-1 since last year's 6-1 start. I mean, that's 13 games. That's a nice sample size. They are not a very good team. You know, I picked them to finish last in the NFC East, and that's what they looked like last night.
Highest pressure rate, single game the last 4 years. It was the Colts against the Titans, it was the Jets against the Dolphins, and it was last night, Cowboys and Giants, 62%. Now, I don't want to bring this to Patrick Mahomes, but when Patrick Mahomes got pressured by the Bucs, we gave Patrick Mahomes a full pass on that because Patrick Mahomes.
You don't think he's earned that?
He had already
Compared to Daniel Jones?
But when you're under that much duress, there's nothing you can do.
So
all of a sudden, like it's Daniel Jones' fault because it's hike.
No, but hold on.
That's like, Daniel Jones
Hold on.
stinks.
Can I?
Yeah,
no,
I don't
but
think many
we also
quarterbacks would have
saw the
succeeded last
game.
night against the Cowboys
The
defense.
passes that he was able to
They were
throw
on something.
were off target. One of the reasons the Cowboys were able to attack the way they were was because they were not afraid of him beating them down the field. You are correct that every quarterback is not held to the exact same standard in every game. We're going to talk about Joe Burrow here in a bit. There are a lot of quarterbacks in this league that if in
Joe
week
Burrow
1 of the
is so
season they
bad
threw for
yesterday.
80 yards on 30 passes, we would be saying there's a quarterback controversy. We're not doing that to Joe Burrow because he has earned the benefit of the doubt. Just the way in the Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes,
Right.
we did say it was about the pass rush, not about Mahomes not coming through. But for the Giants, the Giants were a team.
I mean, the Giants
Everyone
just paid
liked
him
their
that
coach.
huge contract, and he
Everyone
put
thought
up
they
0
improved the
points
roster in the
in his
offseason.
debut.
They're a young-ish team,
you could
particularly
say-
on the offensive
I
side
guess
of the
Burrow
ball.
has been to
They
the Super
made
Bowl,
the
but-
playoffs last year.
You know, all that
Yeah,
money, and he comes out and
they
puts out
were
3 points against a
underdogs to
division
make
rival.
the playoffs this year. Why? Because
state
people
rival.
didn't believe in the
Ohio
quarterback.
Bowl? Like, come on.
Whether or not he could actually
unacceptable,
throw
especially
the
with the
ball
weapons he has.
consistently down the field. And in the
T. Higgins,
Again,
eight
they have not given
targets,
him the
0
weapons
catches.
at receiver.
Well,
To
they-
me,
What?
they're
LeBron
only
James
really
is
good
tight end.
weapons.
Chase had,
I don't know if you ever-
what, 2 catches
that's
for
their
30
only
yards?
decent-
It's just-
yeah, I remember when he compared him to LeBron James. You're right.
Darren Waller.
But their only real Waller is their only real weapon as far as a
Barkley.
receiver.
Yeah.
No, I mean as a receiver. And so that's a problem too. A mediocre quarterback needs great weapons.
I disagree with both of you.
Wow.
Well, you think the Giants are
The
gonna be
defender
fine?
of mediocre
Hold on.
quarterbacks. That's Kevin Love.
No, because I think the offensive line's obviously an absolute mess. But I think putting it on Daniel Jones is
No,
just.
he was just one of many things. That
I was
went
also
wrong.
grinding the all-22. So once Coach comes out here, we're going to teach you guys some stuff. Dak didn't do much. He didn't really have to. 143 yards. Eventually let Cooper rush in the game when it.
That's the thing, he
just
didn't
turned
really
into
have to.
Exercise.
Even though this player
Here's
right here
Dak
is like half his
post-game.
yards. One play.
It's the first game. That's y'all's jobs to write whatever statement it needs to be. For us, it's about not getting ahead of ourselves, continuing to stay disciplined, show the discipline, not only that we did through these 4 quarters, but taking that and making sure we use that in our preparation throughout this week. And then moving forward to next week,
Yeah, I
going home
mean,
against another
Dak
New York
was
team,
not given
a
an
good
opportunity
team.
to show that
It's
he
the
can't
NFL. You got to
play
show
well.
week in and week
Yesterday.
out and
I
be
mean,
prepared. And
he was up
you don't see a lot of
16-0.
wins like this, so we're not going to get
It was a lot
ahead of
slower
ourselves
pace
on
after
this.
that.
Okay, Brew, you
Absolutely
are the
no
inventor
pressure.
of the F game. You are the inventor
It was
of
like the second
SBOB,
quarter.
Super Bowl
Of
or
course,
bust.
Pollard ends up with 2
Right
touchdowns
now,
because
are you
they're
leaning
just going to
more
start running the
SB,
ball
Super Bowl
more
or
and more and
bust
more.
for the Dallas Cowboys.
Like, why would they pass?
Before I answer your
They're
question,
going to throw the occasional
Let me-
pass in
let
there,
me
but why would
start
they?
here.
Why would they take a chance of going
Y'all
3 and out and
ripped me,
wasting
including Greg
40
Jennings,
seconds off the clock when they could
said
just?
for the Cowboys, it is Super
They could
Bowl
run
or
3
bust.
downs and
Now let me ask both
waste a
of
few
you
minutes in
question.
each drive that they have, and
After
like, that's what they
we saw
did. So.
last night,
Yeah, bro.
is
I don't
there
think that's
any
Dak's fault. The
scenario-
defense just really put him in a
is there
situation
any
to
planet
play the
in
way that he had to
which
play.
If the Cowboys
And he
get
did
to
exactly
the
what he
NFC
needed to do to win the
title
game. I mean, no picks,
that
no
they
mistakes,
should be
but
satisfied.
Yes, they lose to the Niners, who look is the way they did yesterday. All
hard to
year.
give him a
Really?
grade.
Yeah, and
After what we saw last night, you
That's
think
the-
Cowboy Nation should be satisfied
I don't wanna have
with just getting to the NFC
No,
title
not,
game?
hold on. Would Cowboy Nation be satisfied? Is a different question. Would I consider it a successful season? Yes.
Really?
But do I think Brew? But now will you answer the question?
Okay, I will. But I just wanted to clarify.
I think it would be
that we're
considered
all
successful,
Super
but there would
Bowl or
definitely be
bust
some
now.
disappointment
It
too,
was
because
me
you were
a
just
month
that close
ago,
to getting to the
but
Super
now
Bowl.
it's all of
I
us
picked them to
Super
go
Bowl
there.
or bust. Okay, so you're with me then.
Okay.
Anyway, look, the Cowboys.
They're
I
definitely
don't
NFC
think they're going to
championship
the
game
Super
or
Bowl.
bust if they don't
I
get
even
that.
picked
Because
them to get to the Final Four, the NFC title game.
that game last year against the
But I have
49ers.
said, Dallas,
Can't ask for
San
much more from your
Francisco,
defense. I mean,
Philadelphia.
what do you want them to hold them to
Three top
10
teams
points?
in the NFC. I've always said
I mean,
they
the
are.
offense had to get it clicking back then, too.
So now there's four.
Detroit, look, that
you
offensive
added
line.
Detroit there.
I buy that.
They're not going to run through Detroit's offensive line like the Giants. Sorry about that. But defense, check.
Yeah.
Special teams, which started it all last night.
Yeah.
Check. Run game. Check. I'll even give McCarthy a check for winning the Super Bowl. The guy we saw
I
talking.
give him a check for
That's
calling a good game last
bit
night.
of a question mark. And last night,
He was
I
smart.
get
He
it,
didn't try
it
and
was
do anything
raining. As if you can't
extravagant
play in rain.
and
It was raining.
just had to do what he had to do.
I get it. They didn't need that.
didn't need it.
I
They
get
won
right.
40.
You're right.
Exactly.
You're right. But with no pressure.
Come on,
I
man.
could have completed one pass last night with no pressure.
You'd have zero.
It was pretty bad
He was
weather-wise.
13 for 24,
man.
143 yards. Oh,
Come
you
on.
want evidence? Look at these
Oh,
throws
God, we're
from
gonna
Dak
do a-
Prescott.
we're gonna do
Look
a
at this.
low-
What is that?
That's a
What is that?
It's a missed throw.
Look at this.
Throw.
Here's another missed throw. And that should have been a touchdown. And
That
this
should have
one
been a
is the
touchdown.
worst. I mean, Dak.
Okay.
And I'm a guy that likes
Look
Dak.
at the scores in this. Okay.
My
listen,
point is this. This works against Daniel Jones and the moribund New York Giants. Will it
that one to
work
CD.
against, yes, I'm going to say it, Brock Purdy
It
and
almost
the
looks like
49ers?
CD jumped
Will
to
it
it.
work
So
against
here-
Jalen
He wasn't
Hurts and
at
the Philadelphia Eagles?
the peak of his
So
jump
I'm
when the
saying
ball was
that
right
is
where
a
it needed to be.
Here's
problem.
the flaw in the argument. The flaw
Could
in the
just be an
argument,
overthrow. I could
anyone
be seeing
arguing
that completely
anything
wrong.
other than, of course, the Cowboys can make the Super Bowl. Of course, they are on par or at the very least,
They just gotta
on
beat two
par with
teams.
anyone in their conference. Anyone arguing against that then has to be like, and it's because
AFC
I
gotta beat, like,
believe in Brock
there's a pool of,
Purdy
like,
more
8 or
than
9
Dak
teams that are
Prescott.
insanely
Brock
good.
Purdy has looked
Hold on.
fantastic.
We're going to talk about Brock Purdy in a moment. But if anyone right here wants to stand up and say they think Brock Purdy's better than Dak Prescott, I'm excited to hear it. I think that will age as well as Daniel Jones being better than Trevor Lawrence.
I'm not saying that.
Of
I'm
course
just
you're
saying,
not.
but there aren't question marks right now about Brock Purdy like there are about Dak.
Okay. Well, can I just answer this?
Why do you? Okay,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I agree. They are legit contenders. I've always said that. But Dak, the one, I'm just going to say, not so bright spot last night was Dak's play.
Listen,
I know they didn't need him, but he didn't throw it well.
Across the NFL, we saw mostly sloppy quarterbacking. Not entirely.
Sloppy play.
Yeah, sloppy. It was crazy.
And so the point that I am trying to make is that when you are looking
Like all the games at 1 o'clock,
the NFC,
they weren't scoring
the
any
Cowboys
touchdowns
check
other than
as many
Ayuk.
boxes, if not more, than every other team if you believe in Dak more than Purdy. I vehemently believe in Dak more than Purdy. Now, you want to believe in Jalen more than
I don't know
Dak,
about that.
that's totally understandable. Jalen had
Purdy
his
is
own
8-0
bit of
in
struggles
all the
yesterday, I
games
thought, and we
he's
can discuss
finished.
that. The Eagles also, defense to me,
And the Steelers, I mean, we're talking about a guy who I'm pretty sure the third pick, the Steelers.
The Cowboys defense is. The Cowboys
I mean, he picked the
right now,
Steelers.
I believe,
They look
deserve to be
cover.
close, but the NFC favorites. I haven't
And there's
looked
only
at the
like
odds
one
this
or- it
morning.
was a
Maybe
1 or
the
2
Niners
point
are,
spread.
But I think the Cowboys deserve to be the
It was
NFC
like
favorites.
Those two
20 to
look
0.
the best.
It was
of
not even
every team
close.
in the league.
No
right
doubt.
now.
Those
There's
two
no
look the
question.
best.
Oddly, it
Ended,
was
what,
such a
27-7?
beatdown. I almost would give Dallas more credit if it was like
The Steelers needed to use
35,
Najee more. I mean, they gave the ball
And you
like
could see Dak
2 or
do
3
something.
times.
It just got out of hand. It just turned into cardio as well.
And he had
Well,
a
it was good
20-plus
for
yard
us in the
run.
game. Like, okay, pull these guys.
Never
Next,
used him again.
Upcoming Jets, Cardinals, Patriots, 49ers. So we'll see for the Cowboys.
Oh.
Head out here. 49ers.
That was a
Steelers,
perfect throw.
non-injured Brock Purdy. He's basically the NFL version of LeVar Ball. Never lost. 220 yards, 2 touchdowns. As San Francisco walloped the Steelers 30-7. Here's Bosa.
We just have so many players, and it's fun to watch Ayuk do his thing, and Purdy shut some haters up. So it's nice to be on a really good team. I think whenever a guy comes back from an injury and people kind of give him, they don't expect him to make another leap in the second year. I'm just happy for him. He's exactly who we thought he was.
Okay. You ready to believe in Brock Purdy? Has he silenced his
And
doubters?
San Francisco will be 8-0 this
Listen,
year, and they'll still be like,
I
yeah,
am
I
hesitant
don't know
to do
about
this.
Purdy.
But what you're going to hear when we talk about the Niners is
improvement
Wilds
anything yet.
very confidently supporting Brock Purdy. And I went and reviewed our prediction week tape. You had the Niners missing the playoffs. So your belief in Brock Purdy
Somebody's gotta miss the
evidently grew fresh relatively recently.
Somebody's gotta miss the
You're talking about him being undefeated like
I
LeVar
forgot
Ball,
about that.
and he had
Wow.
him missing the playoffs.
Missing the
So now all of a sudden
That's
he's
a
big
horrible
Brock
take.
Purdy guy.
Vikings going to
Here,
the Super
the
Bowl.
Vikings go to the
It's almost
Super
as bad
Bowl,
as picking the
Niners
Chiefs to go
lose the ball,
20-0.
And now I'm the hater. I'm the Brock Purdy hater. Here's the thing. I would have thought when Jimmy G went down and we got the final pick of the draft to step in that everyone would agree, oh, this is like, it's amazing that we're actually getting this in real life, not just in a thought exercise, but a real life test, an experiment of with Christian McCaffrey, with Deebo Samuel, with Brandon Ayuk, with George Kittle, with all pros everywhere, with Trent Williams. Can you drop anybody in and that offense work? And when Mr. Irrelevant comes in and goes undefeated, they'd be like, well, God dog it, I guess you can. Instead, everyone is like, you know what? This kid's amazing. I don't believe it.
Well,
I
no,
think
they're
he
just
played
saying he's
well
not bad.
yesterday. But I will ask Brew this as he looks at me aghast.
I am.
If you dropped in Derek Carr, are they worse? If you
Yeah.
dropped in Kirk Cousins, are they worse? Or
Yep.
are they? If you dropped in Matt Stafford, are they better? If you dropped in
Matt Stafford, they're better.
Mac Jones, are they the same?
Well, Mac
No.
Jones.
No, honestly.
No.
Are there 10 quarterbacks in the league?
I watched
You
Kirk
drop an
disgruntled
I don't-
yesterday, making some
I'm
pretty
not
bad
saying
bad
Brock Purdy is
decisions.
on his way to the Hall of Fame. What I'm saying
Brock Purdy
is the
appears
kid
to
has
be
played
a very
well.
smart
All right,
individual who can
Jimmy
handle
G,
this
who you
specific
know I like, and we'll
offense.
get to him later. All
And I
right,
think
'cause
that's
he
why
did
he's
some nice
succeeding
things.
so
you
much.
abandoned him.
No, but
I mean, even Derek Carr
Jimmy
yesterday
G
was
would
throwing some
make
questionable
certain
balls.
mistakes. He actually made one yesterday, throwing the end zone or red zone.
No,
pick.
it was in the end zone. Yeah.
Brock Purdy doesn't make those mistakes.
Yeah.
And we have now. I know Nick couched it with George Kittle, with Debo.
Yes, with
so
all
I
these
couldn't
all-pros.
bring up, or he thought I couldn't bring up.
I don't want you to
Nick
bring up stuff
Mullins,
from 7 years
CJ
ago.
Beathard,
Yes, I'm talking about
the
these
guys
players.
that had them 1 and 10 before
players, because
Jimmy
we're
G
not
got
talking
there.
about that. We're talking about this team with these players.
The bottom line, Nick, is he did beat out Trey Lance.
Okay, that's fine.
He did beat out, Sam Darnold.
Okay, who's
Sort of beat out
so
Trey
what
Lance.
I'm saying is
Trey Lance was circumstantial.
Brock Purdy is legit.
Okay,
For
I'm not
him
sure
to
yet.
get those guys, Nick Bosa, Trent Williams, they voted him a team captain.
Every
they
starting
believe
quarterback's
in
a
the
team
kid,
captain.
but they didn't have to vote him. They believe in the kid. And look, in his last 5 games, including 3 playoff games, 0 interceptions. When you have that type of defense and that type of run game,
that is good enough.
Is true. He's my pick for Offensive Player of the Year. And if your quarterback doesn't make mistakes, Nick, then you're going to be tough to beat.
Is he better than Derek Carr?
Yep.
Is he better than Mac Jones?
Yes.
Is he better than these guys?
We've only seen him for
Yes,
what?
he
That's
is.
my
10
point.
games?
Right. So no,
we know
he has
he's
not
good.
silenced me. I
We'll
don't
see
know
if
that
he's.
yet.
Oh, we know he's good.
I don't know that yet.
So
What
Dak
we don't know
Prescott
is
can
if
lead
he's
the
great.
league in interceptions.
Dak
Do you believe
Prescott's
in
been
him?
in the league for 7 years. He has a 49
It hasn't
yard
been as
season.
far as this
a
kid.
37. Okay.
I mean, seriously.
Yes.
He's
you're
gotten
right.
a team to
It's a-
Dak-
Derek
it's
Carr
not
won
like Dak's
yesterday,
been playing with
16 to
Charles.
15
Okay,
against the
that's fine.
Titans.
That's
That was
fine.
hard.
It's
That was a
just
very
Jimmy G
hard game to
2.0.
watch.
It's the
been playing with
Niners
Charles?
with Shanahan and these weapons do great. We all see the quarterbacks limited, and then we're like, they win. It's the quarterback.
How'd Jimmy G do this weekend?
Jimmy G, he won. He won.
Without Kyle Shanahan.
I believe it.
Against your guy.
Brewer was right about Tua's
couldn't-
excellence.
Yeah, I cannot believe the
What?
Raiders won that game.
Yeah. Had him as third place.
You
dark
don't
horse
remember?
MVP.
You guys
Tyreek should be a
It
freaking
was just
MVP
last
candidate.
week.
You're going to drive.
You forgot
kidding
about
me?
that graphic?
That was crazy
That's
yesterday.
on FS1, the Fox Sports Channel, Sirius XM.